I lurch forward, the shimmering tear in reality spitting me out. My boots scrape against something brittle, something that crumbles instantly under my weight. My arms flail, grasping for purchase as I teeter, one foot dangling over an abyss. Below me, a silent, colossal canyon stretches into a hazy purple distance, its walls faceted with glowing, impossibly tall crystal formations. A faint, low thrum vibrates through the ground, a constant, unsettling pulse that I feel in my bones. The air around me still ripples, a visible distortion that makes the canyon walls waver like heat haze. It's too quiet. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. This isn't just another jump. This place feels wrong, deadly. My heart pounds, not just from the near fall, but from the oppressive stillness, the latent energy humming everywhere. I quickly adjust my grip on my pack, the familiar weight a small comfort against this alien dread. This new world, it's a terrifying puzzle. What forces shaped these canyons? What makes them sing with such eerie silence? These are the kinds of questions I love, the kind that lead to discovery. And speaking of discoveries, make sure you stick around until the very end, because I've got a truly unique find to share. A glimpse into this episode's culinary secret. It's something you won't want to miss. For now, I need to find stable ground. The air thrums with a low, rolling vibration. It's not just my nerves, my entire skeleton seems to resonate with the sound. The canyon walls, usually a static tapestry of jagged crystal vines, begin to subtly shift their crystalline facets. A deep, resonant groan echoes around me, a sound too organic for mere rock. I press myself further into the cold, abrasive rock, my breath catching in my throat. My gaze sweeps upwards, frantically searching for the source of the intensifying shadow that now races across the sky. Nothing distinct, just a vast, formless presence above. But the moment it passes, the crystal vines beneath my fingers change. Their inherent blues and purples bleed into the fleeting grays and greens, perfectly mirroring the retreating darkness overhead. The ground shivers violently beneath my boots now, the tremors growing more insistent, like a giant hidden heartbeat. Small, iridescent insects, usually buzzing with a high-pitched hum around the deepest crevices, scatter in a frantic, shimmering wave. They vanish, every single one, into tiny crystalline cracks, leaving an immediate, unnatural silence. The stillness is absolute, suffocating. My initial dread curdles into a strange, focused obsession. This isn't just inert rock and alien flora. This canyon is alive. It adapts with chilling precision. It hides. The silent, perfect camouflage of the vines is a revelation, a complex defensive ballet playing out before my eyes. My fear quickly morphs into an almost breathless awe at this lethal, ingenious ecosystem, a natural hunter in itself. My breath hitched. The wind, a constant threat, clawed at my precarious perch. Below, the deep valley seeds shimmered, a forbidden promise in this lethal canyon. Then, a vast shadow detached from the crags. A glider bat, its obsidian wings caught the pale light, diving silently towards a thicket of blend-meat vines. I braced, but the impact never came. Feet from its target, the creature recoiled violently. An agonizing screech ripped through the air, echoing off the crystalline walls. It thrashed, wings battering empty space, then spun, crashing hard onto the canyon floor. Silence. My vision, now hyper-focused, locked onto the spot. Where the glider bat had met thin air, the vines shimmered. A faint, iridescent, oily residue briefly hung suspended, then slowly diffused. An unseen barrier, a protective field. These vines weren't just prey. They actively defended themselves. A living shield against the canyon's most feared predators. Harvesting wasn't just about finding, it was deciphering this complex, fascinating defense. My dread sharpened into obsessive curiosity. The ingredients fought back. This canyon ecosystem was far more sophisticated than I'd imagined. I follow the skittering, iridescent beetles, their tiny forms flitting nervously between crystal clusters. They lead me deeper into the canyon, away from immediate danger, but towards something profoundly strange. A massive shadow passes overhead. The air thrums with a low, resonant vibration, felt more than heard. Certain stable crystal outcroppings glow faintly, responding to the passing darkness with that subtle hum. This isn't random. This is a signal. The beetles gather around an ancient etching on a massive obsidian-like crystal face, a glyph. It shows a sinuous tendril like the blend meat vine coiling around a winged predator. At the tendril's tips are small, shimmering, fruit-like growths. This is a story, a warning. The vine isn't just reacting, it's teaching, evolving, communicating through these crystal frequencies. This is important, I murmur, tracing the lines. The vine is a hunter. That is the secret word for survival here. It uses camouflage and communication to thrive. The humming intensifies, guiding my gaze. This ecosystem is a vast, interconnected mind. My initial dread twists into focused, reverent obsession. This isn't merely an ingredient. It's a profound key to understanding survival itself. The oppressive hum, once a source of paralyzing terror, now sharpened into a frequency I could almost taste. My hand, still trembling slightly from the last near miss, adjusted the sonic filters on my visor. The world around me, a shimmering blur of crystal and motion, snapped into unsettling focus. The chaotic vibrations began to coalesce, reforming the invisible into something tangible. My breath hitched. It wasn't just distortion, not just an environmental trick of light and sound. The pervasive humming wasn't wind, not echoes, but a living, pulsating presence. What I had perceived as shifting crystal formations, the very walls of this chasm, were alive. They were plants. Massive, fleshy tendrils, thick as my arm, snaked across the surfaces. Their biomimetic cells shifting colors, textures, and even light refraction to perfectly match the crystalline rock. Blendmeat vines, the legendary camouflage, this canyon, the ultimate hunter-gatherer test. Awe mixed with dread. They had been watching, and there, glistening faintly where some tendrils intersected, tiny droplets of iridescent liquid oozed, catching the scant light. Refractive citrus oil. Its molecular structure shimmered even under this oppressive sonic signature. A perfect defensive mechanism, a complex botanical ballet of concealment and light manipulation. My target, confirmed. A surge of weary triumphs, edged with a new fear, washed over me. The true hunt for this prime ingredient just entered a terrifying new phase. My kitchen shears feel clumsy in my trembling hand. The blendmeat vine, a tapestry of deep purple and emerald, pulses with an almost imperceptible rhythm against the canyon wall. This is my chance. I lean in, the metal gleaming, ready to snip just a tiny section for analysis. The blades close, inching towards the fleshy tendril. But before they can even graze the surface, the vine explodes with defensive energy. A violent, muscular contraction, like a coiled spring unleashing. It snaps back, expelling a concentrated jet of blindingly iridescent, sickly green oil. It screams past my ear, a searing whistle of compressed air and acid. The oil impacts the rock behind me with a sickening sizzle. a cloud of acrid smoke immediately rises, etching a perfect, glassy crater into the stone. My heart hammers against my ribs, a wild drumbeat of shock and adrenaline. Above, the glider bats, drawn by the sudden, sharp disturbance, dip dangerously low. Their shadows flicker, their cries sharpening, indicating less time than I thought. This vine isn't just growing, it's an active predator, sensing my every move. My objective has just changed from simple gathering to a dangerous negotiation with a living weapon, and the clock is ticking. Realizing my shears are too short for this volatile reach, I quickly fashion a crude, long-handled extension using scavenged debris to safely distance myself from the vine's reach. The canyon walls blur as I sprint. Glider bat screeches echoing too close. My lungs burn, but my eyes are locked on the crystalline vines I'm trying to outrun. They shimmer, not just visually, but something more. I tuck into a shallow alcove, pressing against the cold rock, my pulse throbbing in my ears. A nearby vine, thick as my arm, seems to soften its edges, its crystalline strands blurring into the air. But then, the air itself changes. A strange stillness washes over me. Localized, almost palpable. The wind, which had been whipping past, dies in this small pocket. I watch, mesmerized, as a glider bat swoops past, its sonar clicks bouncing harmlessly off the empty air where the vine truly is. It's not just blending light, I realize, my breath catching. It's actively sculpting the air currents around it, creating silent zones, pockets of sonic nullification that fool their echolocation. This isn't just visual trickery, it's micro-environmental manipulation. The vine is vibrating, subtly, intensely, disrupting any incoming sonic waves. My dread morphs into an almost reverent obsession. This isn't camouflage, it's a living cloak of silence, a vibrational void. I need to understand this. My culinary challenge just became a masterclass in living physics. The canyon floor trembles beneath me, a constant hum of ancient rock and unseen forces. I grit my makeshift, long-handled tongs, the improvised tool, surprisingly balanced. My gaze sweeps the fractured rock faces, tracking the thermal currents. Updrafts, then downdrafts, a breath of air predicting death or opportunity. A sudden violent downdraft hits, ripping through the air. The glider bats, caught entirely off guard, shriek, their immense bodies tumbling, their razor-sharp wings flailing wildly against the unexpected turbulence. Their disorientation is my window. I lunge, the long-handled tool extending further than I thought possible. A surge of adrenaline pushing past the fear. Snip, the blend meat vine's thick stem severs with a surprisingly clean sound. A fine, iridescent spray of its refractive citrus oil erupts, catching the swirling wind, dissipating instantly without touching me. I don't hesitate, pulling the precious section back, my hand already reaching for the pre-prepared airtight jar. The seal clicks shut, a tiny triumphant sound swallowed by the canyon's roar. My heart pounds, not just with relief, but with a new, raw understanding. The environment isn't just hostile, it's a puzzle, constantly shifting. I feel its pulse now, the world's complex breathing, a clarity I've never known before. I am weary, but undeniably alive. The rough cave wall presses against my back, a cold, gritty promise of fragile safety. Distant growls vibrate through the stone, making the air thrum with an ancient, predatory hunger. I carefully place the harvested blend meat vine onto my makeshift cutting board. My chef's knife, a sliver of precision in this lethal canyon, whispers through the flesh. Its supple texture yields, each meticulous slice, instantly devouring the scant torchlight. Leaving behind a transient shadow on my board, I watch, mesmerized, as the cuts disappear, not into darkness, but into the ambient gloom itself, a silent cellular consumption. This isn't just an ingredient, it's a living shield, its unique cellular structure actively pulling light into itself, a perfect edible void. I carefully brush a drop of the refractive citrus oil across the surface of the slices, watching as the liquid interacts with the vine's cellular structure, stabilizing the shifting light into a singular iridescent shimmer. It is the final preparation, a delicate balance of biology and culinary art that will allow me to blend into the environment itself. I lift a sliver of the camouflage carpaccio. Its surface still shimmers, refracting the faint cave light. This is it. The final desperate gamble. I take the first bite. A shockwave hits my tongue. Not a flavor, but a raw current, like lightning splintering through earth, infused with the deep mineral tang of ancient stone and the sharp, bright zing of crystallized air. My vision blurs, then snaps into focus. But it's not the same focus. The solid rock of the cave wall dissolves before my eyes, replaced by a vibrant, shimmering tapestry of interwoven energies. Latent heat blooms in pulsing currents. I feel the slow, rhythmic thrumming of a distant glider bat's wing beats, not through the air, but through the stone itself. A vibration of mass and life echoing within the rock. My body feels lighter, more attuned. This constant, lethal canyon, it's not just a threat, it's a living, breathing system. Its every pulse now laid bare to me. I whisper the secret, hunter, as the lesson finally clicks. To survive here, you don't fight the wild, you become part of its rhythm. A wave of exhaustion hits me, but I savor the clarity, a defiant smile tugging at my lips as I realize I have mastered the canyon's secret. The lingering friction of the environment still claws at my energy, but now I understand it. But remember, explorers, while the ingredients in this canyon give me a boost to survive this alien world, these are purely for my journey in the kingdom of crystal vineyards. Always stick to the safe, real-world ingredients back home, because the best part of cooking is discovering the amazing flavors we have right here on Earth. Nearby, the air shimmers, twisting into the familiar, hypnotic swirl of a new departure. That's a wrap for this world. If you want to keep exploring the multiverse with me and see what ingredients we hunt next, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. The next portal opens soon. Don't get left behind. See ya!